Hello, hello, hello. Wait, okay. One more time. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Thank you so much for being here. Um, let's see. And Fancy, thank you so much for being first. Let me grab my um, yeah, slides and then we can get started. Wait, was I through with the slides? I think so. Yeah, that was it. Nothing else to add. And of course, I don't suspect we will be here more than an hour, right? We never are. Okay. Okay, slides are coming and then we can get started. Cause I'm ready to start. Yes, I'm ready to start. Okay, slides are coming. Let's see. Emma D, welcome. Compton Cali Gal, Mary H, Angela M, Ania, Paul, Kathy G, that Edie girl, Helen Marmon, welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, slides are ready. Busted! The worst dress, although they seem to have found someone who says she's the best dressed, but I don't know about that. And of course, there was that humiliating apology. And, well, our Duchess just soldiers on. Also, yeah, we got some news about the producers, that, of course, being Prince Harry and the Duchess of Sussex. Producers, they produce. They are executive producers. I love this for them that they are just quietly getting these productions done one after the other. You know what I mean? Um, Someone tried to question the um, amount of material that they're producing, but I believe it was AJ, who is one of the media type people over there, who set people straight by saying, Martin Scorsese can't just get things done at the snap of a finger. It's very tough. You're asking people to risk their money to get these projects off the ground. And studios, they love to stick to a proven formula. It's kind of rare nowadays when real art is made. So, um, yeah, it takes as long as it takes. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. It takes as long as it takes. Okay. Hey, Novi D. All right. And leave Doria alone. Keep Doria's name out of your mouth, Carole Malone. Who does she think she is? Carole Malone is the worst person, just the worst. I cringe when I think about the things that she said about Doria. And it seems so, how do I put it? It just, where this came from. You know where it came from. Somebody has been hiding out on a burner account. Now, I cannot prove it, but I am going to allege a burner account. It's the only thing that makes sense, using a burner account. And using that burner account, it puts you right in the thick of it with some of the worst people, those keyboard warriors that hide behind their anonymity and go after people that they've never met, accuse them of things that they've never done, and even worse, they lie. They will come up with the most horrific lies, questioning Meghan's fertility, um, questioning Doria's what do you call it, criminal record, which she does not have one. I don't know why they would even imagine something as big as that could just hide in plain sight. The answer is it doesn't. It doesn't. As nasty and as vicious as the tabloids have been, there's just no way. There's absolutely no way that would not have been an issue by now. So anyway, that's okay, Doria. We got you back. So there's the troublemaker right there, Carole Malone. She is a nasty piece of work. Now, as for the groveling apology, I do have that handy. Let me grab it for you. Okay. You know, I was just looking at the comments that were removed by the moderators. Do you know someone accused me of having too much dead air time? That there's too much quiet time? I ask you this. If I don't go in the kitchen and grab a cookie, who's going to do it for me? Huh? Who's going to do it for me? If I'm not drinking water and belching into the microphone, who's going to do it for me? Nobody. That's who. I have to do these things myself. And of course, if Amazon is dropping something off, who's going to run in? Who's going to run and answer the door? I will. That's who. And the fact that I'm in the middle of a podcast is of no consequence. The last thing I would want is for the Amazon man to get away. I love the Amazon man. I think we had a moment last week. Anyway, what was I talking about? Okay, got it. Here we go.
In an episode of Britain's Newsroom on Thursday, December the 4th, 2025, I stated that Thomas Markle, the Duchess of Sussex's father, brought Meghan up while her mother, Doria Ragland, was in prison. I believed this to be the case based on what I now understand to be misinformation I had seen online. I was questioned about the validity of this claim during the broadcast, and I repeated this belief, which I now understand to be false. This was a genuine error. I accept what I have now been told on behalf of Miss Ragland, that she raised her daughter and that she has never been in prison or jail. I apologise sincerely to Miss Ragland and her family for any pain my comments may have caused, and I'm happy to set the record straight.
And can I just say on behalf of GB News, because I was on the programme that day, we all wish to apologise to Miss Ragland for the error, and we are happy to correct the record.
Okay, so there you go. That was the apology. I don't think the apology is whole and complete. I find it unsatisfactory, but I'm pretty sure that will be the end of that. It was all very, it almost seems like it was written by the legal department. Yeah, like it was written by the legal department. It doesn't sound like it comes from a real person. And even though Carole Malone has been trying to pass herself off as being a journalist all these years, I don't know what her credentials are, but I don't see her as a traditional journalist by any stretch. Carole Malone is collecting her pay from these various talking head appearances all over British television and social media. Her qualifications is pretty much she is just devious enough to say the things that real people would not even whisper in their own homes. Vicious, horrible, nasty things. And they hide behind, I'm a journalist, I'm just doing my job. Or they'll say, someone is paying me for my opinion. And if I'm paid for my opinion, I'm going to give my opinion. Well, that's all well and good. I get that. But do you ever concern yourself with the hurt that your opinion causes? Do you ever concern yourself with that? Hiding behind some media organization is no excuse for lacking sound moral judgment. She really lacks morals. She conceals her very sinister nature behind a bunch of big words. But that is a very sinister individual right there. And she's one of those right wing gatekeepers. She's not a feminist, and she certainly seems to have issues with people of color. But then that is consistent in the British tabloid media. That is something that so many of them have in common. You know, a couple weeks ago, I introduced you guys to a new writer for the Daily Mail. And I have been watching this person's name come up again and again. And they're doing the same thing with her that they were doing with this other. What was the title that they gave them? Well, anyway, the title, I can't think of it offhand, but it pretty much means that they are a trainee journalist. They're training at the I'm sorry, they are training to write for the Daily Mail. That's what's in the title. And right now, that person is doing the same thing that the one before was doing, finding old articles about the Sussexes, you know, using the picture of the Queen at the wedding where the Queen is looking at Meghan with the same resting Queen face that she used when she looked at Beatrice or Eugenia or whoever the hell it was. Or the pictures on the balcony, the one where they captured a certain look on Meghan's face and they do that. They do that. It's like a test to see if they have what it takes to turn into an old, shrill Carole Malone. They are literally in training. It's awful. It's awful because what it does is it helps to cultivate a very cynical, negative, and very biased population of people. People walk around with their fists balled up. People walk around hostile toward people, looking for problems, not because it's necessarily in their nature as much as it is they are being nurtured into this nationalist right wing Karen. That's what they do. They're making Karens. They are mass producing Karens. Terrible person. Take a look at this. I decided to go ahead and go back to the Wayback Machine. Harry and Meghan. I'm sorry, Harry to marry into gangster royalty. New love from crime-ridden neighborhood. Or thin blue blood and Spencer pale skin and ginger hair with some rich and exotic DNA. Remember, do you see the little sunburst down there on the bottom right? You see that? This was on the CBS morning show the day after the Oprah interview. And the tabloid media was very upset that CBS a news giant, an American news station um, network, was calling them out for racism. How about the Daily Mail? Exclusive. Harry's girl is almost straight out of Compton. Gang scarred home of her mother revealed. So will he be dropping by for tea? One's gone gangster. And then, of course, you can see how clever they are with the little ER right there. See that? How clever they are, aren't they? Oh, and of course, everybody's not favorite. Yes, you know what? I can't even say that word. I cringe when I see that word. I'll just leave it for you to look at. Um, but remember, these people insist that Meghan was welcomed with open arms. I'm sorry, but as an American, I'm just not used to this. And I'm sure this is something that Meghan had never experienced before. I don't believe Meghan followed those tabloids. I never followed them. I didn't watch, or not watch, but I'd never seen that type of coverage passed off as mainstream media in my life. That was something that I associated with the Star magazine or the Inquirer. Technically, they're weekly newspapers, but most people just call them magazines. They're just something that you see at the checkout at the grocery store. I did not know that in the UK that they had something like the Examiner or the Express or the Sun or the Daily Mail for that. Well, the Daily Mail, I found that about 15 years ago with the Trayvon, what is it, Trayvon Martin? That's how I found the Daily Mail. They had the headline. And still, I did not realize what it really was until I saw the coverage of Meghan. And then I was like, oh, ooh, oh, this is bad. Society editors withdraw claims that UK media is not racist. Well, they should have, because it is. It is. And Carole Malone is very symptomatic of a much larger problem with the UK media. I'm sorry, it just that happens to be the case. There is a bias there, a horrible, awful bias, and they pretend like it's an anti-American sentiment. It's no different than Carolyn Graham saying, as a impartial journalist, Carolyn Graham is anything but impartial. UK News host apologizes on air after false claim about Meghan Markle's mother, or mom rather, as Duchess spokesperson reacts. A spokesperson for the Duchess of Sussex reacted to an on-air apology, saying in part, broadcasters have a responsibility to inform, not inflame. But where does information stop and personal bias opinion, where does that begin? If you ask me, it's right from the start. It is right from the start. Unfortunately, the consumers have been conditioned to accept this as journalism. They accept opinions, they accept the bias and a mountain of negativity. They accept that as journalism. And it certainly is not. Doria raised Meghan. Thomas Markle was a weekend father, period. Thank you very much for that, Lex. And, yes, that's exactly what the case was. This idea that Doria had vanished for a long period of time, I do recall that Doria worked as a travel agent. Doria's had various jobs over the years. Meghan has had various jobs over the years. I've had various jobs over the years. I think there's a lot of people who've had different types of jobs or careers, if you will. And that is something that is ongoing. That's the American way. You just keep reinventing yourself. There's nothing unusual about that. And so if there is two parents in the child's life, and that child maybe stays a day or two over, the summer break or whatever, fine. I mean, that's her father. But for the most part, it was Doria. And Doria mentioned that there was other women in her family that she could depend upon, which again is not unusual. There were many times I've stayed at my aunt's house, and there were many times when my cousins stayed at our house, depending on whatever the needs of the family were. We had that mobility between the households. Not unusual. But for a tabloid reporter to make it into something as twisted as what Carole Malone implied, there is little protection for Black women in this society. It's just so I don't get the hostility toward Black women. And again, I'm going to say it one more time. It was very much the same way with Michelle Obama's mother. There was something about her mother's presence that seemed to just get people's back up. What is she doing there? As though her mother didn't have her own home in Chicago. She didn't even live with them in Chicago. Michelle Obama wanted her mother there as a stabilizing, safe presence in the White House. Could you blame her? As another pair of eyes and ears in a very sterile and unusual environment. But the tone that they used against Michelle Obama's mother was so upsetting. It was hurtful. I mean, this is a grandmother. This is a sweet old lady who worked her whole life to be treated like that. And that is exactly the type of hostility that they have been using against Doria from day one. As you could see in those articles, those magazine headlines I just showed you, the whole tone of it was unfit mother. Unfit mother. As though Meghan had the best opportunity in life at her father's house. When she's with her mother, they may hear gunshots ringing out. Fun fact, you always hear, oh, don't go to the south side of Chicago, the south side of Chicago. I've lived on the north side. I've lived on the south side. And I promise you, I heard more gunshots on the north side. And I was in a very diverse neighborhood. And there was also a lot of high-income people in that neighborhood. And ironically, there was more of it there. I mean, literally, I can count at least two homicides within, I don't know, about 100 feet from my front door. Thank you, Legs. Okay. Oh, let me do this. Is it Anna Boyd? Anna Boyd, thank you so much for the super sticker. Oh, and thank you for being here, of course. Someone sent me a PayPal earlier today. Thank you for that. Let's see. Okay. I was going to give the initials, but I think I've already removed it. But thank you. You know who you are. All right. I don't know how they call themselves, journalists. They're just talking heads. They're not journalists in a traditional sense. They really are not. And this is why, you guys, I tell you, you have to be very careful with watching even The View. I don't like to watch The View. I haven't watched it in years. Because the conversations, like on Jeremy Vine, those conversations that they have, those conversations are designed to, it's almost like a narcotic. It just keeps you coming back. It just keeps you coming back. It is orchestrated. It is theater. It is a pantomime. It is not a real conversation. The host has an earpiece in their ear. Like Piers Morgan, everybody thinks he's so smart. He's not dumb, but he is wearing an earpiece, and people are feeding statistics to him throughout the broadcast or the podcast. And also, they definitely will have one person to defend the Sussexes, and there's like 3 people piling up on the Sussexes. It's not a real conversation. It is not meant to inform you. It's only going to drive your blood pressure up. That's why I say, try to avoid it. Try to avoid it. I'm so glad for the squaddies that have posted some of those highlights that I can go back and watch at another time. It helps to keep me informed. And of course, the shows from the UK, they're not available to us here. That's pretty much, unless I do something with the, what do you call that? That's probably the only way that I'll ever see it. And I am grateful for it. And it's been very, very helpful for my work. But if I had to sit through a Jeremy Vine myself, it would definitely do more harm than good. So yeah, those things, they're I told someone years ago, I said, I do not watch Bill Maher. Bill Maher is part of the problem. He is not this big liberal. Bill Maher is there to help to shape the message for whatever interest group, but he is not there for the people. And it is poisonous because it only is going to leave you frustrated. You see Bill Maher do the same thing that Jeremy Vine does, play dumb. Jeremy Vine is so talented when it comes to playing stupid, pretending like he doesn't know better. And that's the same thing Bill Maher does, time and time again. And I can't do it because I know they know better. Jennifer Clark, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you for being here. Okay, so what do we need to know according to a People magazine? Well, according to People, they say Carole Malone of GB News apologized on air after falsely claiming in a recent broadcast that Meghan's mother, Doria Ragland, was once in jail. In a statement to People, a spokesperson for the Duchess of Sussex said, in part, Miss Ragland proudly raised her daughter, proudly raised her daughter and has never been in prison. GB News did not apologize voluntarily, but only to escape a defamation lawsuit. And it speaks volumes that GB News removed any trace of that apology within 24 hours of making it. The news host made the initial claim after reports that Meghan's estranged father, Thomas Markle, had an emergency leg amputation surgery in the Philippines. Now, see, I didn't know that they removed it. I did not know they removed the Carole Malone. It's no wonder I could not find it that time, but there are some very sharp squaddies that are going to make sure that we have that available. They're going to make sure that we have that available. And we're going to make sure that they never forget that that happened. Us Weekly also covered it. Pretty much all of the tabloids and the gossip rags have covered this. Is it any wonder they snatched the apology off the air as fast as possible? They only did that because they wanted to avoid the heat that comes with it. However, I don't think the apology was big enough because that lie fermented for a long time in comparison to the very quick apology that is there and it vanished. Here's a couple more. These are kind of out of place. They should have been close to the other ones. But there's some more of their handiwork. This is how they welcomed Meghan. Harry's girl is almost straight out of Compton. Gang-scarred home of her mother revealed. So will he be dropping by for tea? Now, we did that, but take a look beneath it. Prince Harry's new girl, suit star Meghan Markle, is from Crenshaw, LA. Crenshaw has endured 47 crimes in the past week, including murder. Gangs, including the Bloods, count the neighborhood as their territory. Markle, social worker mom, Doria Ragland, lives in a rundown area. And the actress aunt, Ava Barrow, is in nearby gang-afflicted Inglewood. Had you guys ever seen this article before? Because I never actually read the article. Plagued by crime and riddled with street gangs, The troubled Los Angeles neighborhood that Doria Ragland calls home couldn't be more different to London's leafy Kensington. By the way, have you guys seen London lately? Anyway, but social worker Ragland might now find herself welcoming a royal guest to downtrodden Crenshaw after Prince Harry was revealed to be dating her daughter, Suits actress Meghan Markle. I mean, the you know what I mean? Markle is now based in Toronto, Canada, but her mother remains in LA and moved to her modest green painted home 5 years ago after the death of her own father, Alvin, in 2011. Now, I'm going to just leave it there, but like I said, Meghan was welcomed. They said, they keep emphasizing how Meghan was welcomed. Oh, sorry about that. Let me see. Let me make sure you guys can hear me because my microphone is doing something weird. Oh, that's interesting. Does it sound different all of a sudden? Let me know. Okay. If so, I'm gonna have to look out for that because sometimes this thing just has a life of its own. Oh, it sounds much better. Okay, it sounds much better. Okay. For some reason, I think the sound was going through my phone, and it should not do that. Oh my God, what am I going to do with this thing? Oh, well, okay, let me do this. So, Carole Malone forced to correct false prison claim about Doria Ragland live on air. And of course, we go to Fem Negra, which is one of the few royal correspondents that I can trust. And all you have to do is let the ad play and you can see what it says. Oh, man. Okay. Okay. Don't do it to me, Fem Negra. It's doing it to me. Oh, but that's okay. That's okay. We'll get through this. Okay, so GB News has issued a rare on-air correction after one of its commentators, Carole Malone, a British newspaper columnist, falsely claimed that Doria Ragland, the mother of Meghan Sussex, had spent time in prison. The allegation was made during a live broadcast of Britain's newsroom and was later removed after it triggered widespread backlash. 11 days later, the network returned to the same program to publicly correct the record. The decision to do so live was striking. British broadcasters seldom issue on-air corrections of this nature, particularly when the false claim targets a private citizen rather than a public figure. I mean, it was just the worst. It was the worst. A white woman on live British television accuses a black woman who just happens to have dreads and a nose ring, which is just as much about, that it's like that appearance of a very ethnic Doria Ragland, whose daughter is married into the British royal family. A Black woman, a grandmother, who has a master's degree in social work. Again, who has worked various jobs over the years, a yoga instructor. Who could be more threatening to society than a yoga instructor with a master's degree? Huh? Who could be more threatening? It's a wonder. It's a wonder that the crime rate in Windsor didn't go up when Doria visited the Frogmore Cottage. I'm pretty sure if we look at the local crime statistics, we're going to see this huge spike because someone's grandma with a master's degree happens to be a yoga instructor came to visit. Now we know how someone like a Carole Malone views a Doria Ragland. It's so obvious. And this is why we say that Black women in society are the least protected, because this was allowed to fester. And it was around this time what was it, 2 years ago? Was it 2 years ago when Jeremy Clarkson, around Christmas time, Jeremy Clarkson writes that article that never should have seen the light of day, but nobody stopped it. It was not flagged. And if it wasn't for the pressure from the public, nothing would have happened. And for the most part, he gets to keep his job. I think the only thing that happened was they did not renew his contract with Amazon. But he is still viewed as a hero. Not only because of his long career in the media, but because of what he said about Meghan. That satisfied a lot of people. He's a hero. It doesn't really cost him anything. He's just as rich today as he was then, if not even wealthier. And this is why it is not safe for Meghan to go over there, because of that rhetoric. That rhetoric of seeping into a very fragile, I'm going to be politically correct, a very mentally fragile mind could be a huge problem. It could be very dangerous. Could you imagine if Doria came to visit the UK and let's say Doria decides to go to a function and there's someone who listened to Carole Malone who says, go back to jail. Go back to jail. I mean, Meghan heard some whispers from people while she was still there. Nothing was said about it. She didn't say anything about it. But I do recall when she said someone told her, why don't you call your father? You need to call your father. Do you see how that leaves them vulnerable? That leaves them vulnerable and exposed to someone else's lies. Don't forget, a lot of these early negative, nasty articles came from Willie Leaks and his cronies. Remember, Naf is from Texas. Absolutely. As I've said so many times, a lot of this has been sanctioned by Kensington Palace. A lot of the negativity has been sanctioned by Kensington Palace. And we were told so in no uncertain terms. It is much easier for them to blame anything uncomfortable on racism rather than address the fact that the negativity toward them is coming from within the royal family. From within the royal family. And that has been a constant. That has been true since the beginning. The leaking and the briefing. The one thing that Harry said that he and his brother promised that they would never do to each other. They promised that they would never use their household, meaning, of course, their staff, to brief against each other. Well, one of them kept the promise and the other one hasn't. I'll let you decide which is which. I think you know. It's the one who never has to pay the price. The one that it never cost him anything. The one that has been shielded and protected. He's been protected from everything except for that 9 iron. If they could have protected him from that 9 iron, I think he would probably be a nicer person. I think it would have meant a world of difference in his personality and his temperament. Thank you very much, Carolyn Baker. Carolyn Baker. Okay. There we go. So, a live apology under pressure. The apology broke with routine programming. Malone appeared on Monday edition, which she does not usually join, delivering a prepared statement that accepted the claim as false. She said she relied on online misinformation and repeated it during questioning. She then confirmed that Doria Ragland raised her daughter, Meghan, and has never been incarcerated. That was very interesting, too. The fact that she mentioned but then again, she did bring it up. But she was very careful to specify exactly what did and did not happen. No, she did not go to jail. That did not happen. She did raise her daughter. That did happen. She sat there and said that Thomas Markle raised Meghan while Doria was in prison. I mean, that is just so stereotypical. It is just so racist. Very disappointing. And she has access, Carole Malone has access to television in a way that so many others do not. And why do they bring her back? Because she is more than willing to do that kind of dirty work. She's not just speaking for herself, she's speaking for an entire political base, a nationalist right-wing base. And she's speaking for a lot of other people. And just imagine, that is where Nana works. Nana Akua works in that environment. She has the world convinced that she is this very conservative person. And she takes up for the likes of a Carole Malone. Not directly, of course, not directly, but she takes up for those people. Andrew Pierce also addressed the issue on air with a brief apology. He said the program wanted to correct the record and acknowledge the mistake. The delivery stayed tight and carefully worded. The phrasing focused on closure and mitigation rather than remorse, which signaled urgency and legal awareness. Malone's correction passed quickly and avoided plain language of apology. Critics described it as a legal exercise rather than an ethical one. The wording reflected heavy vetting and caution. In media terms, it functioned as a correction without saying, "I'm sorry." That choice suggests lawyers shaped the response to limit exposure after the clip spread despite its removal. Why the correction became unavoidable? In cases like this, legal action usually begins with a formal notice. GB News response may suggest it received one. Did you hear that? In cases like this, legal action usually begins with a formal notice. GB News response may suggest it received one. The sudden restrained tone from Carole Malone and Andrew Pierce stood in sharp contrast to their usual delivery. Public reaction had already intensified within hours of the broadcast. Viewers preserved transcripts and circulated them online. Complaints to Ofcom followed quickly, many noting how easily the claim could have been verified and how harmful it was to revive a debunked rumor. Attention then turned to the editorial standards and the responsibility of allowing such allegations to go unchecked. Legal exposure likely added pressure. UK libel laws protects private individuals from false statements presented as fact. Malone claimed named Doria Ragland and alleged criminal conduct. That combination carries clear risk. Broadcasters usually act swiftly when counsel flags potential liability. The language of apology was telling. Malone said she accepted information provided on behalf of Doria Ragland, rather than saying she had independently checked the facts. That phrasing is typically used when a matter has moved beyond casual correction and into formal dispute. The decision to address it live and without delay suggests the issue was escalated internally and handled as a serious risk rather than a routine clarification. What the apology does and does not fix. The correction corrected the central false claim. It confirmed that Doria has never been in prison and acknowledged that the statement caused harm. The on-air apology helped stop the spread of the rumor and reduce further damage to Ragland and her family. However, the apology stopped there. It did not explain how such a serious allegation reached air without verification. GB News also offered no explanation for the gap between the original claim and the correction. Viewers were left without any insight into whether editorial checks failed or if new safeguards were put in place. That silence limits how much trust can be restored. The episode exposes a wider problem. In television commentary, fast paced opinion shows reward, confidence, and speed. It can crowd out basic fact checking. When presenters repeat online rumors as fact, it risk rises sharply, especially when the subject is a private individual linked to a public figure. Broadcasters must ensure opinions never replaces verification. Now, a final thought from Feminegra. Okay, here goes. Oh, it's so dry in here. I got to put a pot on or something. For many viewers, the incident sits within a longer and troubling pattern in British media coverage of Meghan Sussex and her family. Critics argue that figures linked to Meghan, particularly on her Black maternal side, face harsher scrutiny and more extreme allegation than those connected to other royals. Commentators have noted that claims of this nature would likely end a media career if they targeted the mother of a senior white royal. Instead, Malone remains employed, as do others who have faced criticism for past remarks about Meghan and her children. Viewers point to years of unchecked commentary, including insults about Archie and Lily, repeated conspiracy theories about Meghan's pregnancies, and dismissive treatment of Meghan's mental health disclosure. The persistence of these voices have shaped public anger around this case. Many see the false claims about Doria Ragland as part of a culture where provocation goes unpunished and outrage drives attention. A carefully worded correction does not address the wider failure. Ethical broadcasting demands more than post crisis apologies. It requires rigorous fact checking before allegations air and a willingness to confront bias within media. Without that shift, corrections will continue to feel like damage control rather than genuine accountability. So there you go. I agree with everything the Feminator said. As a matter of fact, in my own way, I said some of the same things. Is that it leaves the individual vulnerable when that language is used, because people have developed an opinion based on lies. People in their minds see Doria as some type of ex-convict. And even worse, you guys, some of the AI images that they have used depicting Doria, and they do that on some of those hate spaces. They have these images of Doria conducting criminal activity. Again, this is someone's grandmother who has a master's degree and just happens to be a yoga instructor. But their depiction of Doria is Breaking Bad. There are some people that have insisted that Doria could have been the subject of a series like Breaking Bad. I mean, if that was the case, would they even let her in the country? Would she be allowed to visit the UK? When royal journalism became a personal war against Meghan and Harry. Well, that is another one. Let's just skip through this one kind of fast, if you don't mind. Uh-oh, I don't want that. Okay, British royal coverage crossed the line some time ago. Reporting gave way to campaigning. Much of the British media now approaches Meghan, Sussex, and Prince Harry with open hostility. And that is true. A smaller, louder group goes further. These figures cast themselves as the couple's personal adversaries, often on the basis of an imagined slight, like hoghead Piers Morgan. The real offense appears simpler. The Sussexes refuse to accept the narrative written about them. Some of the same commentators also admit they never met Meghan. They still write with the certainty of an insider. This matters because the press shapes how millions understand power, race, and credibility. When commentary starts to resemble prosecution, precision becomes essential. This piece sets out what these voices claim, how they build their case, and what they leave out in clear terms and with evidence. Camilla Tominey of The Telegraph shaped her narrative early. She rejected the idea that race influenced Meghan's treatment. And I do remember when Camilla Tominey said, "Oh, I don't think it's racism, it's anti-Americanism." Disguised as, well, actually, it was racism disguised as anti-Americanism. That's what I believe. So, and framed the criticism of the British press as exaggerated. She also reported that the claim that Meghan made Kate cry during the bridesmaid dress fitting, a version later challenged by Meghan in a separate column on Meghan's guest editorship of British Vogue, Tominey went further, suggesting the project amounted to reverse racism. Okay, do you guys remember that one? That was when Camilla Tominey claimed that Meghan did not have enough white people on the cover of Vogue. And also, I believe she was the one who said, how come she did not put Queen Elizabeth on the cover of Vogue? And in that instance, it was considered reverse racism. Never mind that 99.99999.99% of the time, Vogue magazine never features Black women, and mostly never women of color. But for this particular issue, Meghan had a rainbow of people on the cover of Vogue. And Camilla Tominey, who says that is anti-Americanism and not racism, seemed to have noticed quickly the lack of white people on the cover. So, in other words, she does see color. And it matters to her. Together, these interventions help establish a climate of skepticism in which Meghan's account was treated as suspect rather than examined on its merits. Piers Morgan, hoghead Piers Morgan, pushed that skepticism further. He had previously acknowledged the monarchy's trouble record on race. Remember that? He said that the monarchy had a lot of trouble with race. He said that. After Meghan spoke publicly about her experience, he reversed course. He dismissing her account, including her disclosure of wanting self-harm or having self-harm thoughts, and presenting herself as a casualty of her own influence following his departure from Good Morning Britain. His coverage increasingly framed the Sussexes as dishonest and manipulative while centering his own grievances. Other commentators contributed differently. Jan Moore uses ridicule and class-based mockery to undermine Meghan's credibility. Carolyn Graham became personally involved in a family medical crisis, publishing intimate details and presenting proximity as proof of authority. What links these figures is not only ideology, but behavior. Their reporting follows the same pattern. Meghan becomes the primary target, and the tone turns openly vicious. And that is so true. That is so true. They can hardly contain their hostility. A wider media ecosystem reinforces it with dozens of outlets amplifying same hostility. Prince Harry's defiance of the press is punished indirectly through harsher and more personal attacks on his wife, right? And we've all witnessed that. If they can't get to Harry, they're going to go after Meghan. If they really want to hurt Harry, they go after Meghan. This intensity is not applied evenly across the royal family. It remains concentrated on Meghan and by extension on the couple's refusal to submit to hostile narratives. Anyway, I am going to put the link for this up there at the top of the chat. You can go and finish this article yourself. I think I got about halfway through it. And there is a link pinned to the top of the chat. Make sure you go to Feminegra. Make sure that you put your email on their mailing list so that you can get an update of whenever they publish a new Feminegra. And you can follow them. But yeah, that's how you do it. You can follow them on Twitter. You can follow them on Instagram. And there is a YouTube channel. Okay? So make sure you do that because they are doing the Lord's work. Hallelujah! They are doing the Lord's work. Gosh, she looks like a ghost. I mean, she just such a wicked individual. So a spokesperson for Team Sussex has weighed in after UK network GB News issued an apology for a broadcaster's recent comments about Meghan Sussex's mom. Okay, let me take myself out of there. Broadcasters have a responsibility to inform, not inflame. Now take a look there on the right. The Daily Mail covered it. The New European, never heard of that. Is that Canary? Oh, Daily Mail covered it twice. So yeah, this has been a hot story. Even the New World? Carole Malone, humiliating apology to mom Meghan. I mean, to Meghan's mom. There we go. Oh, this is interesting. Okay. Right wing hack Carole Malone and GB News have been forced into a humiliating apology over the Duchess of Sussex's mother. Earlier this month, Rats in a Sack reported how Malone, a tabloid veteran whose rage baiting views have made her a regular TV booking, informed GB News viewers how Meghan has been raised by her father, Thomas, while her mother, Doria, was in prison, something which has absolutely no basis in fact. The rest of this article is behind a paywall. I've never heard of the new world. I never heard of it before. Oh, I need a humidifier. Hold on a second. I got to drink some water. My mouth is so dry. What I've been doing is, it's like been really, really cold. And when it's that cold, the air is so dry. I've actually been putting a pot on to boil. Now, I purchased that mole spice that Meghan was selling. I think I'm going to put that on later and let it permeate the house with that delicious spicy smell. I cannot wait. I mean, fragrance. You have to say fragrance. All right. Let's keep this moving. So, okay, I can barely see that. Hold on a second. Let me make that bigger. Okay. Music Box says, funny how you how you call yourself a journalist, yet you repeat lies made up on social media. I've removed journalists from your bio if you no, I'd remove journalists from your bio if I were you. Journalists should research the facts prior to spreading defamatory statements they lifted from the hate accounts on social media. You're nothing more than a gossipy tabloid hack. Stick to makeup chit chat. Okay, and the next one says, that's fantastic to see Malone forced to lick the spoon after stirring made up shit. Woo! Oh, the humiliation. GB News and Malone are such losers who will be constantly haunted by this. You know what? This guy deserves some flowers, doesn't he? I think he deserves some flowers, and I'm going to make sure that he gets it. Cheers. I love it. And what does her t-shirt say? I spread misinformation on GB News. Amen to that. Oh, you guys, I did some digging and I found this. This is the article that Carole Malone, let me see. Let me check the date. When did she write this article? August 31st. Sunday Mirror, August 31st. And yes, this was the article that she wrote while Princess Diana was fighting for her life. I repeat, this is the article that Carole Malone wrote while Princess Diana was fighting for her life. It says here, It's a pity Gucci don't make designer face zips. Then, when Princess Diana was on the verge of opening her ill informed mouth and causing an international incident, an increasingly frequent occurrence these days, she could just zip her trap shut. This week, she claimed she was stitched up by the French newspaper Le Monde because they quoted her as saying that while the Labour Party were supporting her landmine campaign, the Tories had been hopeless. However, now that the horse manure has hit the fan and Diana has been accused of doing what's a definite no-no in the royal family, in other words, meddling in politics, she has come over all prosecuted, wounded and prosecuted, and is denying she ever said it. I've been stitched up, she has wailed. But how can we believe a woman who just flew just a few weeks ago, pre-Doty, denied telling reporters, wait till you see what I'm going to do next, when the reporters spoke to when the reporters she spoke to had her quotes on tape. Anyway, it's kind of hard to see it, but how can we believe a woman who swore she didn't make hundreds of harassing phone calls to business boyfriend Oliver, Whore? Whatever, anyway. Even though most of them came from Kensington Palace. The princess, I fear, suffers from the open gob before brain engages syndrome, a condition which affects the trivial and the brain dead. However, there is one very easy way, Diana, to ensure she is not stitched up by newspapers, and that is to stop talking to them. She's done it again this week because how else would a certain tabloid newspaper have every cough and spit of her encounter at Kensington Palace with reporter Anik, whoever that is, who wrote the Le Monde story. Yeah, so there's more to it, but this is the article that she wrote while Princess Diana was fighting for her life. Wow, it does go on and on too. Well, yeah, so anyway, that is Carole Malone. She has been doing this for years. I repeat, she has been doing this for years. She is a nasty piece of work. Anyway, this is the 1997 article that she wrote while Diana was fighting for her life. And of course, the next day, when, it was official, then all of a sudden, there was a whole nother tone to it. She's very entitled. She's very, very entitled, this one. Okay, Netflix. Prince Harry and Meghan are set to produce a Tracy Oliver adaptation of Jasmine Guillory, The Wedding Date, for Netflix. Tracy Oliver made history as the first Black woman to write a film that grossed over $100 million with Girl Trip in 2017. See what I mean? They just keep on trucking along. So yeah, there you have it. Let me fix that. There we go. In business with Netflix since 2020, Prince Harry and Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, Archwell extended its creative partnership with the streamer via the multi-year first look deal early this year. Uh-oh. Okay, did you clock those teeth? Because I should have made it bigger so you could see them, but those teeth look like they were dipped in butter. It's like she stood under one of those butter machines at the local cinema. Those teeth look like they were dipped in butter, like she brushed her teeth with butter. Butter and no, they look like she brushed her teeth with is it Teramic? Yes, like she uses Teramic toothpaste. Thank you for the super chat. Yes, it's like she brushes her teeth with Teramic toothpaste. Oh, butter teeth. No wonder she likes to take up for Willie. So, yes, so it says here, Prince Harry and Meghan Archwell extended its creative partnership with the streamer via the multi-year first look deal earlier this year. Their partnership has so far generated documentaries, scripted series, films, sports, and lifestyle programs with releases including Polo, With Love Meghan, Heart of Invictus, Harry and Meghan, the docuseries, and Live to Lead. Coming off this release with Love, Meghan, Holiday Celebration, a special holiday episode of the top-rated unscripted series with Love, Meghan, as well as a Netflix documentary short, Masaka Kids, A Rhythm Within. Archwell's upcoming slate also includes, are you ready for this? Meet Me at the Lake, based on the bestseller by Carly Fortune. Meghan has also partnered with Netflix on her lifestyle brand As Ever, and both she and Prince Harry are executive producers of the Sundance bound doc. Oh, Sundance bound documentary. They just put doc. Cookie Queens. I almost forget about the Cookie Queens, as we recently revealed. So, yes, don't forget, Cookie Queens are coming up very soon. They have been busy, you all. I am so reassured by this. They have been very, very busy. So, just have faith, you guys. Don't listen to the distraction. Harry and Meghan have been doing a lot. And don't forget, they are producers and nothing happens in an instant. And so there's a lot of people in the tabloid media and online that are trying to make people believe that nothing is going right for them, but nothing can be further from the truth. They are very much respected in the entertainment community. And of course, we know Meghan has had the same lawyer in Beverly Hills for a long time. They are surrounded by some very successful people. So they have so much more going for them than they have going against them. If they want something to go against them, they go over to the UK and jump into the lion's den. But over here, they are quite safe. They are quite respected. Remember, I told you guys, you know how they were just like, oh, the Orange Menace is going to be so angry. the only time, and I hope you guys have noticed this, the only time that that person that occupies the White House brings them up is when there is a tabloid reporter in the press pool that throws, one of those curveballs out there, and that person at the place in Washington, they feel obliged to respond to everything with something quick and clever. Otherwise, he ain't thinking about them. Okay? He ain't thinking about them. And went far enough to say there will be no looking at his green card. So try not to worry so much. Try not to worry so much. I know it's easy to get caught up in the negativity because it's so constant and vicious, but there's a lot of things that are going their way. A lot of things are going right for them. So worry not. It is all going to work out. Let me see. Antoinette Kennedy says, as Meghan says, the gratitude and the negative naysayers go down the same drain. Yes, they do. Yes. Gratitude and what is it? Was it gratitudes and compliments? No, gratitudes and criticism, I think is what she said, right? Something like that. But yeah, they both wash down the same drain. So whether it's something good or bad, they all are going to end up in the sewer. Let's see. Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's like a vacancy, but unfortunately, the inmates are running the asylum. Oh, by the way, today, someone sent me something, and I went and picked it up. It is wrapped for Christmas, so I decided not to open it. I mean, I know who it comes from, and I guess I'll just send them a message and let them know that I got it. But yeah, it's wrapped so pretty. I definitely didn't want to touch it, so I put it under the tree. Let's see. Yeah, exactly. Um, what's that? Show me the money. Show me the money. If you want him to take notice, you got to start waving like a $50 bill around. That starts it anyway. Or do like Switzerland and give him a Rolex clock for his desk made of solid gold. A solid gold Rolex clock. Now that's an attention getter. Oh man. Let's see. Joan Lawman gifted 5 Royal Sussex memberships. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. Thank you. And congratulations to the lucky recipients of those 5 memberships. Wow, that is very, very generous of you. I really do appreciate that. So again, the producers, the executive producers, Harry and Meghan, they are doing their jobs. Now, today, in case you missed it, today was the royal luncheon, and there was a big question: would Beatrice and Eugenie go to the royal luncheon without their father? So, as you can see, soaked Andrew, the sick old man, rides alone while King Charles hosts Eugenie and Beatrice as they join the Welleses at Buckingham Palace Christmas lunch. Yes, the annual Buckingham Palace Christmas lunch. Now, you all may remember when Meghan went to meet the family, the wider family for the first time. That was at the Christmas lunch. Yeah, she was meeting her new relatives. See there? Beatrice and Eugenie, they are all smiles, which I don't know how their parents feel about that. I mean, they do know that their mom and dad will not be there, right? But yet they smiling and grinning from ear to ear. Look at Mrs. Peepers over there on the left side. I mean, just it's amazing how both of them look just like their daddy. Have you noticed that? One has his eyes and the other one, well, she looks like her daddy. Too much like her daddy, if you ask me. But, got those famous peepers on the left. And then on the right, yeah, she looks like her dad. Too much like her dad. Too much. Way too much. But anyway, they went and they had a good time, and they wasn't thinking about their mama and daddy. They were just like chasing those blues away. Merry Christmas. Happy Christmas. And who else was there? Well, you can see Willie Leaks and his children. There's Ford Fiesta. And of course, Afro Annie with Sir Timothy Lawrence. And I don't know who that is with the Duke of Kent, but anyway, she's there too. Maybe that's his nurse, right? His poor wife passed away, so I don't know who that is, but wow, she got some big hair, don't she? And of course, there's Edwina looking very serious as usual. And of course, Lady Louisa riding in the back there. And yes, it was the Christmas luncheon when we saw this image that shocked people. Remember, they welcomed Meghan to the family with open arms. Ain't that what they said? Well, there's Princess Michael of Kent, who we call Princess Michael because that's the only way she would ever be called princess. Now, she, of course, claims to have noble lineage from her father's side of the family. From where was it? Was it I forgot what country it was from. But anyway, none of that mattered in the UK. But by marrying Prince Michael of Kent, she gets to use his first name, Princess Michael of Kent. And so that means she's not a blood royal princess, but she, she wants to be known as a princess. And there she is wearing that blackamoor brooch, a way to infantilize African people. Years ago, that was a big craze in the UK, was the blackamoor. Blackamoor art, which included sculptures. I do believe that Camilla, the Queen Consort, has one in her home. She stood in front of blackamoor candlesticks on Coronation Day. They're all over those properties. See there? But you know what? Karma has a way of dealing with people. I mean, just think, this was 7 years ago. That was Princess Michael 7 years ago. What happened? What happened? If you could have saw those two people trying to walk into St. Paul's Cathedral, it was pitiful. It was like their pockets was loaded down with all those gold coins that they received over the years for all of their shady dealings and such. They could barely walk, bless their hearts. Oh, and also, poor Princess Michael, she fell and broke both her wrists. Either that or it was her bookie. Maybe she owed some money to a bookie, but either way, she fell and broke both her wrists. Yeah, that was unfortunate, wasn't it? I don't suppose she rubbed somebody the wrong way, did she? Huh? Did she run into those men that she offended at that restaurant in New York? Remember those men she said go back to the colonies? I wonder if that's what happened. I wonder if she was in New York when she broke her wrist. I shouldn't laugh, but yeah, I do. I wonder if she was in New York when she broke her wrist. Somebody broke them. Maybe it wasn't her. Maybe somebody else. OTB, off track betting. And then of course, there's that very awkward thing that we found out about Princess Michael. Not only had Princess Michael purchased a couple of sheep and named those sheep that happened to be black, she named them Venus and Serena. Awkward, very awkward. And of course, I should tell you that her daughter was married to Thomas Kingston. Well, she's now a widow, but she was married to Thomas Kingston, who died under mysterious circumstances a couple years ago. So there's that connection. Pretty much, she's just bad luck. She's a jinx. Blackamoor figures and sculptures are exotic figures which usually depicts African men and were prominent in the 17th and 18th century. And out of all the jewelry, even though it's costume jewelry, out of all the jewelry that Princess Michael of Kent owns, she decided to go and meet the first modern person of African descent to marry into that family. And she shows up wearing that. As a matter of fact, she made sure she wore it nice and high on her lapel. So, sorry about that. She made sure she wore it nice and high on her lapel so that way the press could get a picture of it. Pretty diabolical, isn't it? Well, that's Princess Michael of Kent. Meghan meets the family. She sure did. She sure did. Let's see. Top British Bow. Oh, yeah. Look at there. Check out Kate Middleton. She is on the best dress list. I know. Kate Middleton on the best dress list. Too bad for her, it's such a short list. But Princess Kate topped British Vogue's Britain's best dress list. And of course, this article is from Celebrity. Oh, I hope they come on this weekend. I miss Celebrity. They have a very wicked sense of humor. But yeah, Kate is on the list. It says, good news for people who love buttons, Gumby suits, pussy bowls, and mangy hairpieces. Yes, the mangy hairpieces. The Princess of Wales has been named British Vogue's best dressed. Oh, she's best dressed. Not just on the list, but best dressed. I guess she's number one. This is British Vogue's inaugural best dressed list. Oh, it must be the first one, huh? And the magazine even specified that the people who made their list are all British. Some of them are naturalized Brits, like what is it, Dua Lipa and Amal Clooney. Still, that didn't stop the Daily Mail from idiotically crowning Vogue named Princess of Wales as best dressed on this list of most fashionable Brits. As Meghan is absent from the publication's ranking of most stylish A-listers, is Meghan British? No. Does Meghan live in the UK? No. Has she stepped foot on British soil since 2022? Also, no. Just celebrate your homegrown fashionista and try not to point out the half of the labels Kate has worn in public life have gone belly up in recent years, which they have. Half of Kate's favorites have gone out of business. And I mean, fire sale gone out of business. Okay. Yes, it says Princess Kate has been awarded top position on British Vogue's inaugural Best Dressed issue. Kate has described as an eternal influencer and was listed alongside high fashion names including Alexa Chung, Sienna Miller, Kate Moss, Naomi Campbell. She beat Naomi Campbell and Victoria Beckham. You guys, this is not right. Kate Middleton is seen about as often as Haley's Comet. How in the world is she on that list? I smell a rat. Something ain't right. Let me see here. The Royal made the list for her vintage while it was noted that her quiet support can change the trajectory of a brand. Yeah. She was chosen because of her love of vintage clothing, while it was noted that her quiet support can change the trajectory of a brand. Yeah, it'll change it from profitable straight into the waste bin. Yeah, it will go right into the trash can. What do they call it? How do you guys say it? You guys call it a what do they call those big trash dump things? We call them dumps, garbage dumps. But anyway, yeah, that's what happens when she wears something. Indeed, the princess has long been known for the Kate effect. Now, listen, you guys, this is not celibitchy. This is the words from the Vogue article, just so you know. When I said Princess of Wales was awarded top position, and that she beat Kate Moss and Naomi Campbell, this is from the Vogue article itself, not from Celibitchy. Indeed, the princess has long been known for the Kate effect. Her ability to rapidly sell out her inevitable wardrobe items. I'm sorry, is it enviable? Yeah, enviable wardrobe items with every public appearance, with Vogue even predicting a rise in her fashionable influence when she starts to hand out royal warrants in the new year. Oh my goodness, she's going to do royal warrants in the new year. Okay. At the same time, Vogue released a separate list comprising of 55 most stylish A-listers, and Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, was notably absent. You got to be kidding me. Despite telling the New York Times last year that her clothing choices are one of the most powerful things that I'm able to do. Ain't that something? The Fashion Bible unveiled the list of 50 fashionable Brits yesterday, insisting that it's not so much about clothes as it is a point of view. Some stars, such as Claudia Winkleman, were credited with helping put British fashion on the map, particularly thanks to her role on Celebrity Trader. The list consisted of the eternal influencers led by the Princess of Wales. The breakout stars such as Amy Lou Wood and the eccentrics such as Emma Corrin. Amal Clooney led the stars truly commit. I mean, come on. When does Kate Middleton's clothes outdo Amal Clooney? Never. Never. Amal Clooney led the stars truly committed to look. The industry insiders included Bella Freud and the music maker, including Charlie XCX. Who the hell is that? And Ray and Dua Lipa. Was it Dua Lipa? Dua Lipa? Anyway, best dressed men were also included Josh O'Connor. In the fashion boyfriend category, the celebrities were praised for their willingness to buck existing trends, being culture shapers, and staying in their own lane. Oh my God, this is really pandering. This is pandering. That's what that is. This is pandering. That is like some major bootlicking. Who's the editor of the British Vogue? Is it still Enafoy? What's his name? Etouffee? It's that guy Etouffee, right? Enafoy or Etouffee, whatever his name is. I think he's the one. The black guy, right? I think he's still the editor. I thought he was stepping down. Oh, well, hello, Hazel. I said hello, Hazel. It's so nice to have you here where you belong. You're looking swell, Hazel. What the hell, Hazel? See there, Hazel, you got your own song. So Hazel ain't ever gonna go away again. Okay. Was that it? Yes, it was, I think. Oh no. Okay, so Celebici says Charlie XCX style is a million times more influential than Kate's. Just my opinion. Emma Corrin is up there too. But for Kate, this is another reminder that Diana was an actual fashion influencer. Renowned around the world for her trend-setting style, Kate is known for copying Diana, copying Meghan, and copying her mother, Carole. Insert Tim Gunn gagging gif. Let me see. It's fascinating that they're harping on and on about Meghan too. It's obviously rage bait, right? No one honestly thinks British Vogue would put Meghan on a list of British fashionistas, right? What's funny about that is British Vogue is usually one of the first outlets to post Meghan's looks on their social media. Also, where's Camilla? Where's Sophie? I would think that Princess Anne would be a contender too. Nope. They just, for the royals, they only want Kate Middleton and nobody else. Now, let me show you how we know they playing in our faces. Let me let you see that. Look right there. You see Kate wearing that skirt that attacked her that day? That skirt was all over her, pulling and yanking and sticking to her legs, sticking to her, just sticking to her. It seemed like she had a bad case of static clink, or something was scaring the hell out of that skirt and it just needed to be close to her. I don't know. And then, of course, when she went to the Christmas Carol dressed as a pilgrim, that is the most hideous dress. There's no excuse for that dress. Unless your ship is crashing up on Plymouth Rock, there's no excuse for wearing that dress. It's hideous. She looks like the ghost of Laura Ashley. Hideous. She looks like a fugitive from a 1970s Sears catalog. Hideous, ugly, pitiful dress. She looks like one of those people that I see down at the Greyhound station. Like she just left a butter churning contest. That's it. She's dressed for a butter churning contest. By the way, that hideous dress with the large collar, that was for the royal, whatever that was, for the D-Day or VJ Day, whatever that was. Hideous. A dog of a dress. And then, of course, nothing ever fits. Why don't her clothes fit? That houndstooth is attacking her. And then the one with the big collar, the big bow collar, whatever, the big ruffle. Is that Ruffles? Where she looks like she's auditioning for a remake of the Partridge Family. Why is she dressed up like the Partridge Family? Tell me that. The Partridge Family. I promise you, she is dressed up like she's in the Partridge Family. You guys know the Partridge Family. Come on, world, here's a song that we're singing. Will make you happy. What was her name? Shirley Jones? Was that the mother on the Partridge Family? Okay, listen, I'm going to show you what I mean. When I say she's dressed up like the Partridge Family, I mean she's wearing the Partridge Family. Okay, watch and see. I mean, I have not seen an outfit like that since. See what I mean? Look at the mama on the Partridge Family. That was part of her costume. For Kate, it is high fashion. For the Partridge Family, for Shirley Jones of the Partridge Family, is actually a costume. Hello world, here's a song that we're singing. Come on, get happy. A whole lot of loving is what we'll be bringing. Will make you happy. We had a dream, we go traveling together. We had a happy feeling when we're singing a song. Something always happens whenever we're together. We get a happy feeling when we're singing along. Oh, well, that's what I mean. Okay, what else? And then, of course, there's that skirt again. Why is it the shape of that skirt never looks the same way twice? Huh? Why does it never look this? Look at there. Look on the left side. It's still attacking her. She must owe that skirt money. It's so ugly she wore it twice. Ugly, hideous skirt. And then check out the houndstooth. This is the best dressed woman in Britain. The inaugural issue of the Fashionista for British Vogue. Oh, my Lord. Y'all know this ain't right. Y'all know this ain't right. I think that people should protest. And remember, they say it's not just about the clothes. I hope it ain't about the hair. I hope it ain't about the hair, because that's a mess too. But you know what? It was Sarah Vine a long time ago that said Kate Middleton can make clothes look cheap. Remember she said that? I'm just quoting Sarah Vine. Sarah Vine said that Kate Middleton can make clothes look cheap, that she's very awkward. And she ain't lie. She ain't lie. Duchess of Drab is the mystery of the cosmos. How does a beautiful woman make designer outfits look so frumpy? Sarah Vine. See what I mean? So if you think I'm just picking on her, I'm not. It's the truth. It is the truth. Whenever she puts a fashionable piece on, it degrades. It goes down in value. And eventually the company goes out of business. Kate is like she's like poison to the British fashion industry. And that's the truth. Listen, she has taken out half of the companies, half of the clothing line. She has destroyed them. She puts the clothes on, they go out of business. It's the opposite of Meghan. Meghan can make a clothing line. Kate can break a clothing line. And I mean smash it to 1,000 pieces. Smash to smithereens. Could you imagine that sick feeling that a person would have when they open up the newspaper and they see Kate wearing one of the outfits? All of the wailing and crying and tears. Banks are calling in loans. The banks are ready to foreclose because Kate wore one of your outfits. It's true. And even the okay, you know what? I'm going to be fair. She gets this one right. When they have the state banquet, that's the only time she gets it right. The other stuff is a disaster. But if wearing something very stoic and plain and she gets the job done. There's nothing exciting. She doesn't move the dial either direction. And that's the truth. She's just there. Just like a Disney villain. And of course, there's the hair. The unforgivable hair. You just never know. Is she blonde? Is she brunette? Is there some kind of a green hue? You just don't know what the hair is going to do. But one thing you can count on, there's going to be a lot of it. You don't know what the hair is going to look like, but you know it's going to be a lot of it. mountains of hair, piles of extensions and clips and weaves. It's unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. Good news for people who love buttons. Gumpy, what is that? She said Gumby suits, pussy bows, and mangy hair pieces. So yeah, Celebitchy say if you like all that stuff, a Gumby suit, pussy bows, and mangy hair pieces, Kate's got you covered. But if you want real fashion, I'm afraid you're gonna have to look to Montecito because you ain't gonna get it over there. The only thing you're gonna get from Kate's fashion is annoyed. That's it. It's uninspiring. Anyway, you guys, that's it for tonight. I had so much fun tonight. I really did. Um, and I will see you all tomorrow. Hopefully, we can come on early tomorrow. I'm going to do my best. I think we did okay tonight, and it'll be fun. It will be fun. Who am I going to drag tomorrow? I don't know, but I'll drag somebody. Thank you, moderators, for keeping this a safe space. And remember, if you want to send a Christmas card or whatever, don't forget Royal Sussex, 140 West Taylor Street, hashtag 523 Chicago, Illinois 60607. That's Chicago, Illinois 60607. Yeah, if you want to send a card or something like that, or something. Also, don't forget the official Royal Sussex wish list. I don't talk about it so much, but since it's so close to Christmas, I thought, what the hell? The official Royal Sussex wish list. That's a list of items, some of them rather inexpensive, but it's the fun of not knowing exactly what's at the mailbox that I love. And remember, no one is obliged to order anything from the Royal Sussex wish list, but if you choose to, that's okay too. So it's just a list of items that certainly I could buy for myself, but it's just fun when you get that surprise. And like my really big coup recently was my butter dish. Every time I butter my bread, I think somebody really cares. So yeah, that's it. Oh, thank you, Lydia Washington. I was just looking for that. I'm gonna pin this to the top of the chat. Uh-oh, I almost put you in timeout. Let me see that again. Oh, you know what? I'm doing it on the wrong screen. Okay, there we go. Okay, that's the official Royal Sussex wish list. Okay. All right. Thank you all so much. Don't forget to thumbs up. Also, if you do not have a subscription, remember Royal Sussex subscriptions cost as low as $4.99 a month. That's about the price of a cup of coffee. Okay? And it goes a long way to help support Royal Sussex. Oh, you know what, guys? I wanted to share something with you. I think I'm going to try to do that tomorrow. But it's about grief and Christmas time. So I wanted to get proper slides for that so I can share it with you properly, if you don't mind. But yeah, I'll share that with you tomorrow. And yeah, let's say goodnight for now. Okay. Yes, everyone, please watch Masaka Kids. Oh, wait, is it? It's Tuesday. Listen, Thursday, Emily in Paris is back Thursday. I repeat, Emily in Paris is back. I cannot wait. I love Emily in Paris. That's like one of my favorite things. I love what is you know what? I just found a peanut butter pretzel. I don't know how long this thing has been sitting on my desk, but you know I'm gonna eat it, don't you? I was just reaching my hand around the back of my computer. You know I'm gonna eat it. I'm sure it's okay. It couldn't have been there too long. That's a damn shame. She giggles, she cries all at once. Oh, I love that. Let me see. It's in the air. It's in the hair, or is it a weave? Oh man. Okay, I get what you're saying there. Thank you for that. I'm trying not to laugh too hard because I gotta put a pot on the boil. It's so dry in here, my lips are about to split. Oh man. This is as dry as it's been for a long time. Okay, let me go and do that before my lip is bleeding. My mouth gets very dry this time of year. Okay, love you guys. I will see you all next time. Cheers.